So here I am at the OnePlus event in New York City, and why do I feel like I was just here? Oh, right, because I was. Anyway, OnePlus just unveiled their latest flagship, the OnePlus 5T, and they sponsored us to come here to be among the select group of people who will be hands-on with it first. Now, there are a handful of major changes with the 5T. Let's do the big deal stuff first. This is the first device ever from OnePlus to deviate from the traditional 16:9 aspect ratio, and also the first to feature an immersive display with super narrow bezels. And it's AMOLED, which is, yet again, this is becoming a theme here, a first for OnePlus. It's 2160 by 1080 for better battery life compared to higher resolution options, and it comes with the usual benefits of OLED, like a near infinite contrast ratio and power savings on darker backgrounds. Though it also comes with the usual drawbacks, so I'll be watching for any early reports of burn-in on this display. I'm really digging the body design here. It's super clean with the antenna lines well disguised, and you can get it in any color you want, as long as it's black. And while the finish is a little bit slippery in the hand, it's nothing that a vinyl skin couldn't fix, and the shape and aspect ratio make it pretty handleable, considering that it is a 6-inch display. I like the way that they've also squeezed together the nav buttons at the bottom, so it's a little bit easier to reach across with one hand if you don't have gigantic digits. Now, I'm not generally a huge fan of rear fingerprint scanners, but OnePlus figures they've gotten around this with their high-speed face unlock. It does seem to work pretty well so far, but I will need to spend more time with it. The rear camera also got some interesting upgrades. 4K 30 FPS video is electronically stabilized now, but probably more importantly, I've been saying for a while now about both the Note 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus that the telephoto lens on the second rear camera doesn't achieve much more sharpness than digitally zooming the usually sharper main shooter. Well, apparently OnePlus agrees, because their dual 16 and 20 megapixel camera system uses two lenses with the same focal length to achieve depth sensing for their portrait mode, and their second one is actually tuned for better low light performance with a 4:1 pixel mapping scheme that they're calling Intelligent Pixel Technology. Requires more testing, as with everything we're seeing today, but it's very interesting. And finally, true to the OnePlus tradition, the specs are top drawer, especially considering the aggressive pricing. Every 5T will get a Snapdragon 835 processor, then there's 6 gigs of RAM on the 64 gig model, and 8 gigs of LPDDR4X memory on the 128 gig model. And that's accompanied by an Adreno 540 GPU, dual SIM slots, fast Type-C charging, a 3300 milliamp hour battery, and yes, my friends, you can't really see it because it's dark in here, but that is a headphone jack. And they're doing this without making a ton of compromises that I feel are likely to affect their average user. Off the top of my head, you are giving up wireless charging, but you're getting a superbly crafted blasted metal body that should be harder to break than a glass-backed one. And you're giving up a dedicated button or a squeeze for Bixby or Google Assistant, but you're getting OnePlus's trademark 3-position notification slider. So I'll be spending the next couple of weeks with the 5T. Hopefully I'm taking one away from the unveiling here with me today, and I'll be looking deeper at the 16 megapixel selfie camera, as well as some of the software tweaks that OnePlus has built based on their community feedback program, like parallel apps. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions about it that you would like to see addressed in my review. The 5T will be available on November 21st. So thanks for watching, and thanks again to OnePlus for bringing me out here to see their latest and greatest.